Well, hello. HETMA Presents live at ISE 2026 continues to roll. We have more voices coming your way almost by the minute right now today on day 3 of ISE. It's Thursday, which means people are either staring at their shoe tops or, they're pumped and excited to be up and about the show. So, Joe, thank you for taking some time to chat with us. Would you introduce yourself to everybody? Who are you and what do you do?
My pleasure. Thank you, Ryan. I'm Joe Andrulis, Executive Vice President of Corporate Development at Biamp.
Well, I appreciate this is one of those interviews now, like you've got the full suit and all that, and we're here at our little HETMA booth, so you've really classed up the place. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, well, I do what I can, and I think it's a fantastic opportunity, so I appreciate you allowing it.
Well, we appreciate it too. So a whole lot of audience doesn't get the chance to come to trade shows like this, right? And we want to make sure they know and understand what is being shown and to hear it in the voices of the people who are excited about it. So you were just telling me, right, like part of your role is to put on the show that Biamp has brought to the show floor.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what did you prep for everybody?
Well, in particular, and I think of material interest to the higher education audience, the primary one here, we've been focusing very much on the larger spaces, which fits very neatly into classrooms and auditoriums and other spaces in higher education. And of course, Biamp's mission is connecting people. And what better mission can you have when you're talking about education? That's the first role of the educator, is to ensure that they connect with the students, whether they're remote in the space or increasingly remote as well, to deliver their message and allow the students to also interact comfortably between it. So we've been looking real hard about how do we make that experience very natural, support that goal without the technology being a hindrance. And a couple of neat things that we've introduced at this show are something called Presenter Lift, which isn't, if you can imagine a teacher at the front of a large classroom, and maybe they have some sort of audio reinforcement, some sort of a microphone that they might use, which comes with its risks and challenges associated with microphones. Instead of that, imagine that you could just install these solutions where you put microphones, say, in the ceiling, and then you're able to go in and then lock in audio pickup zones. And so people just go into the zone and it's automatically reinforced without any interaction whatsoever. It becomes entirely natural, conversational levels, no risk of feedback, no batteries none of the things that might all interrupt the experience. And that also delivers that same audio quality to foreign participants, maybe on a Teams or a Zoom feed. Blend that with then the same microphone system being able to also support student-to-student communication across it. So again, kind of in the mix-minus capability. So we've introduced that's called Participant Lift.
Yeah.
And so all of that is all part of one set of software solutions that are supported today. And then on the video side, we have something called Max Connect Auditorium Mode, which is intended to support people who might have challenges seeing a whiteboard or something up at the front. And I think that applies to all of us in some of these big spaces. And essentially, it reflects video back wirelessly in a very, very simple way. You just connect your content into your laptop, and it automatically sets it up. And it includes everybody's personal laptops or phone devices, but also things like if there's support displays, even outside classrooms. Those are all automatically distributed. So it's a video distribution platform that is hallmarked by its simplicity and low cost, incredibly aggressive pricing on that. So we really are trying to find solutions that both hit the needs of the student, the need for it to be technically simple and straightforward, so that there isn't a hindrance, high reliability, and very cost effective. And we're really excited to be showing all that at ISE 2026. So that's a big package.
That is a lot, but it really is a key thing where, especially on campuses where the sophistication of technology is moving so fast. It's fantastic, but its profile to users is disappearing, which is amazing. It is amazing. Just go in the room and do what you came to do. And you don't have to worry about anything else.
Take care of themselves.
And we can just see. We can just hear. The far side people can see and hear. The local people, and then add that local reinforcement into it.
Exactly.
And because every one of us has dealt with I'm loud enough, I don't need a microphone.
Always.
And everyone else in the room is going, no, you're not.
You know, and what's ironic is, you know, you talk about this evolution of technology and how it's gone seamless, in that the people who've benefited most are the people outside the room.
Correct.
Right? Because with the AI, the you know, team systems, Zoom systems, the audio pickup, the auto transcription, all of that is for the benefit outside of the classroom.
Yeah.
The guys who got forgotten are the people who made the effort to go there.
In that, yeah.
What we're really looking at is now complementing it with the capability to say, no, you're going to be as well supported and have this even better experience by coming to that space as the ones remote. And so that whole notion of meeting equity now is coming back to make sure that the people in the room are taken care of, not just the people outside.
But that's interesting, right? So meeting equity, of course, has been about the value of this, because it was
At
just
the far
taken for
end.
granted that the close end was good.
Right.
And
that's
that is not
true.
always the key.
You are absolutely right.
I love that. So
Yeah.
one of the things that you guys do that I've seen in action, we have at my campus and other places, is your software-based kind of auto-tuning, auto-setup of
Yes.
conference spaces and stuff like that. And now it sounds like that same technology is informing this voice lift and other things where
Yes.
it can be put into a space without having to have a detailed audio engineer come create a giant matrix mix minus in some place for you.
And even more importantly, there's no day-to-day person,
Right.
right? So everybody could say, oh, well, we could spend a little extra to get it set up. But what really weighs on people is if there's day-to-day maintenance or tech support required to get the teacher or the instructor up and running. So we really did want to focus on, we talk about that easy experience for the participants in there, but we are really looking at how do we make it just as easy for the installer, just how do we make it just as easy for the buyer. And so it has been pretty amazing to see the progress that the industry has made there, and we certainly hope that we're providing a lead role.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a key thing where on campuses, right, we're all being asked now to do the same or more with less
Isn't that true?
human resource with it,
Yes.
right? And so where technology can come in and do that is, like you said, the day in and day out is reliable without a call coming in all the time and somebody having to run out and make an adjustment here and make an adjustment there.
Exactly.
That pays off in time when human hours is your lowest resource
Right.
that you have available to you.
And it also then fosters greater use of that technology, and then the benefits that come with it are really realized.
Yeah.
Because how many systems get put in, and the potential is there, but there's a block that prevents people from really using it effectively or on a regular basis. Your comment, even people who were worrying about this voice reinforcement, and all they needed to do was activate a mic or something like that. But maybe it's on the wrong channel, or the batteries, they're not quite sure, or they think that their voice will do it. If you take away that opportunity for failure points, then the experience is going to go. And they don't know that they're using the technology because the technology just activates all on its own. All of those things are ways in which we can remove those failure points.
And it just goes to like all the conversations moving away from here's the box, here's the product number, to here's the experience.
Here's the experience,
And that is a perfect example of just like we don't, I mean, we've all had the person go, oh yeah, I used my microphone, and then you look at the recording and they're holding it at their belly button.
Right.
And go, we didn't get that one.
Yes.
We don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah.
We really, and our users shouldn't have to worry about that anymore.
That's our goal. Look at the points of failure, remove the points of failure, and then the experience is going to be better and then more widely used.
Thank you for bringing tools to market that help us do that.
Well, we're doing our best.
All right.
But you know what? I want to thank you, because HETMA plays a big role in that. By your advocacy and you bringing together the higher education managers who really have those deep understandings of those points of failure, or those real challenge points, and be able to consolidate those and provide that as input back to us and help shape our products. You play a massive role in ensuring our solutions hit the mark. So it's a team. Yeah, it's a team.
I appreciate that, and we really try and look at it that way. Right? Is the industry is symbiotic, right? It is not. Oftentimes it's thought, manufacturers make products and they need to find customers to buy them. And we pretend like we don't also need manufacturers to make great stuff that we can bring to bear.
Yeah.
It is, what I'm saying? That cyclical support is what makes the whole industry work and ultimately benefits the student who has no idea that that's all what went into making their experience what it was.
Absolutely. I mean, you hit it. I mean, you said it's all about the experience, right?
Yeah.
And you worry about the experience, and we worry about
Yeah.
the experience. And our role in delivering it might differ, but our commitment to that objective is shared. And so if we start with that understanding, right, and you go, okay, you got your role in doing that, and the manufacturers have to provide the tools to enable you to go and do that, there is no points of conflict.
Yeah.
There is no conflict. And I think honestly, I think as an industry, we're doing better and better at
I would agree with that. It feels
Yeah.
the collaboration of the industry feels different to me now than it did pre-COVID.
Yeah.
And I think we've shown that. So on that front, before we
on
close,
that happy note of
well, but I'm saying, like, a trade show like this used to feel like a shopping
Yes.
bag. You walked from place to place, and where was a
people
swag
were selling
thing.
you on things
There
versus
was-
solving your problems.
And now, like, the conversation, the number of places where you go around and what you see are idea sharing, understanding, and people coming up with new ways to use things. Like, it has such a collaborative feel. I love it. So
I do too.
From your point of view now, you've
Right.
obviously in your role, you're building up to shows like this. There's things on the line, and I'm talking about whether there's ROI. How do you measure? How do you know if ISE has been a success for Biamp?
I say in days gone by, a lot of people came to show to see the products, but there's so many ways that you can really get to the product information that if you have to be honest, that it's still an important part, but it's not as important as before.
Right.
What really stands out is the personal connections that are made.
Yeah.
The opportunity to kind of sit across from somebody, really gain a non-superficial understanding of what their situation is, what their problems are, and share ideas and collaborate. Sometimes it's even just sharing the excitement about the opportunity. When you just come in here, you get a feeling of energy and excitement. And it just renews your optimism when you go back, whether it's me back to our labs and product labs, or it's you back to a campus. It's like you're kind of recommitted to this great experience, and you get new ideas for doing it. So that to me is what it is. It's at high level sharing of camaraderie, the sharing of ideas and commitment about sort of objectives. And then, if you can sell something along the way, that's awesome, but we do that 364 days of the week, and this is our break.
Yeah, exactly. And I like it, the human emotional connection that comes from these sort of shared experiences. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That sell, like, those things will turn POs over time. You know what I'm saying? Because those experiences happen. So,
Agreed.
well, I appreciate you taking time away from your
my
booth
pleasure.
to come chat with us and share what's going on.
Thank you, Ryan.
And we will make sure we've got some photos and stuff of your booth to share with folks who weren't able
wonderful.
to make. So everybody go make sure you do that and check out some of these great offerings. And I really, really appreciate the partnership and the support with Biamp.
And it's bi-directional, so thank you very much, Ryan.
Appreciate your time.